Hello everyone, Sumit here. Today I'm going to talk about a concept called binding mode, REST binding mode in Camel. The reason I wanted to make this video today because I wanted to narrate an incident that happened today with me, which led me to discover the importance of REST binding mode, and that's why I wanted to make this video to share it with you guys in case you might find this useful. So earlier today, one of my clients reached out to me and they said that they were trying out some Camel code, just pretty straightforward enough. They were trying to consume a REST service, post REST service, but when they are trying to consume it from the Camel code, they are getting 200 response, but the message doesn't seem to go through. Pretty intriguing. I initially thought maybe they are making some mistake. So I just borrowed some code from them, and what you see on the screen now is pretty much an approximation of the code they have. Now you can pause the video and take a good look at it. If you are immediately able to figure out what is wrong over here, then you might as well stop watching now because I guess this video is not for you. But if you're like me, who was stumped and was not able to figure out what is wrong over here, what could be causing the 200 written code, but no response coming. So you guys carry on. All right. So as you can see on this code, it's a pretty straightforward and simple code. I am listening on a REST API, a post, and an endpoint token. And when the request comes, I convert it into string. Then I set the content type and post. I do some debug and show the whatever is in the body. And this is a kind of a variable I'm using as a replacement for the endpoint, which I am going to consume from. And that's it. The request that I will send to this Camel service is going to be forwarded to this endpoint. And whatever response comes back, I am going to send it as a response back, right? Pretty innocuous code, similar code. Let's see what happens if I try to run it. What I did is for choosing a sample backend, I chose this backend echo.free.vceptor. I will give the link in the description. This is the website that I was talking about. They give an URL where you can send your request like get request or post request, and you would be echoed back or some response will come, which will typically be based on the input that you have provided. It's pretty good enough for my purpose. With that, let's try to it. So basically what I did is I have already compiled it and I'm setting this variable, this endpoint here, and let's run it. All right, so my service is running on 8080 port. Let me open my Postman. 8080 token, just ignore for the moment what is coming into the body, it doesn't matter. So I hit it. And okay, I see this is 200, okay. But I do get a response as per the website. So I don't see any challenge in the code. Looks perfectly fine to me, but there is something here. It says error in parsing JSON body. Now, okay, I did not understand what that means, but I am getting a response, and this response is as per the documentation, except in the parse body, I am not able to parse the body. So definitely something is fishy here, but I'm not able to understand what is gone wrong because it seems to be sending the message right. Looks to me message is not going proper. So that gives me a good indication that maybe something is going wrong. I take a deep look over here because I remember I have logged the body and show body and show headers are true. So I thought initially, okay, maybe the body is not right. I look at the body, and if you can see here, here's the body. Okay, sorry, I'm sorry. This is the response. Let me go up. This is the body, right? So right off the bat, you might think, hold on, this looks similar to what I sent, but definitely not JSON. So what is going on here? Okay. And then it hit me. You see, REST binding mode JSON. So let's understand what is happening here. So REST JSON binding mode. This is the REST DSL documentation of Camel. Binding modes, as you can see, there are 5 types of binding mode. Okay, you have op, auto, JSON, XM, JSON, and XML. What basically it does is it gives Camel, or rather it gives the user some bit of benefit from Camel. You can leverage Camel. So let's first see what is happening in auto, JSON, and XML. Okay, I think it should be XML. This is the misprint here. It's XML. So when you say auto, JSON, and XML, what Camel tries to do is it will look at your input data. It will also look at the content type that is coming. And if, for example, if it is auto, if the content type is JSON, it will try to convert it into some type of POJO. And that POJO will be, let's say, backed by the JSON structure. So from the JSON structure to a POJO, it will try to do that. And it will do it automatically for you. You don't have to write any specific code to do that kind of parsing and conversion. I could write like this, for example, post, and then let's say if I know that it is supposed to be JSON and I know the JSON, sorry, type. So I could write something like this type, and you can see it says class type. Okay? So where this class I would create based on the JSON input format. Okay. So if I do like that, let's say, I don't know, order processor or whatever, I'm just giving a name, right? If you do like this, then it will actually convert whatever JSON is coming into this kind of POJO for you. And then this will be set in the body, and you can use any processor to modify that body content as you wish using some kind of POJO operation. That's up to you. So that is the benefit of having binding mode. So you can make it auto. If it is auto, based on the content type, if it is JSON or XML, it can try to do it automatically. It can try to marshal JSON to POJO or XML to POJO. If it is JSON, then of course you are forcing it to be JSON only. If you set it as JSON and the body is not JSON, it will give 415 unsupported media type, content type. Similarly for XML, that means you are forcing it to be XML only. JSON and XML, this means based on your content type header, it can try to convert it from JSON to POJO or an XML to POJO. Or you could choose to turn it off. If you turn it off, which is the default mode, that means we don't write anything about binding mode, this is going to get into effect. And in that case, Camel doesn't do any kind of unmaskering for you. It will give you the direct raw body. Now coming back to our program. So as you can see, our friend here has mentioned REST binding mode JSON. Now, as I said, if I did not give the type, if I give a type, then it will try to convert it into this type. But if I don't give a type, then the default behavior, and if I mention as JSON or XML or auto, then it will actually convert it into key value pair. That is what it's going to do. That's the default behavior. And that is exactly what is happening. What is happening is it is converting the request that it provided. So as you can see, this is the JSON body. It has converted this into a key value pair, key value map rather. Okay, and that is, you can look at this, but you will still say, okay, this is key body, but what is happening here? This doesn't look like a key map. Yes, that is because of this line. Because when the request was received, after that, it was actually forcefully converted to a string. So basically, you did that map, you took a hash map and you did a toString kind of. You can consider this has happened as a toString. And this is why it looks similar to the JSON, but it's not actually JSON because it's just a toString of the hash map object. So that is the reason this is not a JSON. And when I am sending this content to my endpoint, which is expecting a JSON, it is actually not able to process, where you can see the response content. However, it does say that it is unable to parse the JSON body. So then how do you fix this problem? First thing, since we know now that I am using JSON, and it will by default convert it into hash map. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to convert it into JSON because that's what backend expects. So all I have to do is I have to write marshal. I should have given a dot. All right, marshal, and I have to convert it into JSON. And at this point, then the body becomes JSON, which is what it expects. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Let's close this, compile this. Now let's again try to run this. Okay, the service is up. Let's hit the service once again. And voila, as you can see, it is now able to parse the body. Okay, there is no error anymore. And just to be clear, now this is the body. As you can see, this is now an actual JSON body. That's it for today's video. It took me around 2-3 hours to figure out what is going on, and I thought maybe people like me might be stuck with this, so I had to call this out. I hope you liked it. Thanks.